April Nelson, and I'm a Senior Client Strategist here at MoreVisibility. So today I'd like to talk about benchmarking, one of the tools that is offered within Google Analytics. So benchmarking has been around for a couple of years, but it's evolved today to be what I think is a lot more user-friendly and easy to digest information. So the first thing to know about benchmarking is that it allows you to compare your website to other websites within your industry, even of a similar size. So as far as a similar size, we're talking about the amount of traffic that comes into your website. So in order to get this data and compare yourself up against other sites, you do have to opt in to share your data within Google Analytics. So I'd encourage you to check out what's involved there, but to summarize, you're allowing that your data, which of course has no personally identifiable information, but your overall website data, that you're going to share it and be in this pool of data that Google is pulling from when they're creating these benchmark reports. So check that out, see if it's something you want to opt into, and then you'll have access into a suite of reports underneath benchmarking within Google Analytics, and that's underneath the user behavior section. And you can compare yourself not just to sites in the industry, but also choose a size of a website that you would want to compare yourself to. So it's a great way to take a look at things like the amount of traffic that's coming into a site. So, some clients will ask, what should my breakdown of paid and organic traffic be? What are other clients doing? What are other websites doing? Well, it definitely varies by industry, and so that's why you want to, choose one of these industries. There's about 1,300 that Google provides that you can compare yourself to. Another thing you could look at there in the benchmarking, aside from overall sessions coming into the site, would be things like engagement, so time on site, pages viewed per session, bounce rate even. So I find that, especially when the topic of something like bounce rate comes up, that benchmarking can be really helpful because clients will often ask, what's a good bounce rate? What bounce rate should I aim to have for my site? And in order to kind of have an answer for that, it really depends on what channel of traffic you're talking about. So within the benchmarking of Google Analytics, they give you some rolled up channels to give some context to this data. So when you take a look at something like bounce rate, you can see a breakdown by organic, paid, email, social, etc. And so that can help give the context to start a dialogue. So if I want to know what bounce rate I should aim for, well, let me drill in a little bit there and see, are we talking about organic traffic or paid traffic? Are we talking about something like a blog post versus a paid placement landing page? Because they both have, or they should have, a pretty different focus. So your paid placement landing page has maybe a very hard-hitting call to action, a form right there on the page. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if my paid traffic has a low number of pages viewed per session. Just like if I'm looking at an organic blog post and I see that it has a very high bounce rate overall, I shouldn't be shocked if I feel like my blog post is really giving some great valuable information to the reader. They're coming into the page, reading it, and they're leaving off of that same page they entered on. To me, that's successful as far as a blog post goes. So I think Google does a great job at giving you those channel groupings within benchmarking to help give that data some context. And just a couple of other categories you can look at aside from a breakdown of those sessions. You can take a look at a breakdown by device as well. So that can be really interesting to see what does your mobile, tablet, and desktop traffic percentage look like compared to your competitors. So just a couple of interesting tidbits about benchmarking, and I hope you'll check it out.